Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here, DJ Shark Hitter. Just gonna wait for some people to maybe come in. Maybe I'll let Jim know I'm on. Maybe we'll have a lot of great folks come in from the communities, and maybe we'll talk about some topics. School's around the corner. Hopefully, I'm going to be going back to work probably soon. Going to try to get a part-time job because, money's tight. And like right now, this show, my StreamYard's running low. So I don't know when I'm going to come up with the funds for the StreamYard for the next full StreamYard. I don't like using the StreamYard, the free StreamYard. I like to use the StreamYard that you pay for. So that's one thing. Of course, college is around the corner. I'm really like my feet are getting wet about going back. Because I really been thinking about it. I have too much on my plate, and taking care of my son has been no easy task. So I don't know how long I'll be up here. Right now I'm watching the news, hanging out. Hopefully everyone's doing good and out there. So hopefully they find this lady that they supposedly was taken from her home and kidnapped. That's the only answer they're coming up with. So maybe she has been kidnapped, or maybe she wandered off somewhere. I don't know, man. Nobody knows where this lady is. Hopefully she'll be found, and she'll be found safe. Hey, Rainbow Melon, how are you? Yeah, I'm on. I came on. Yep. So I figured I'd come on for a bit. Maybe some other people. I saw that Johnny got his teeth taken out today. I think he had it up on his post. Not much. I'm looking for work, Rainbow, and you know, just trying to take care of my son. My son's not well, and we're trying to get him the help he needs, and hopefully he'll go to the therapy he needs to go to and straighten himself out. I mean, he's 17 years old. So that's that. I woke up to him arguing with me today, and that's that. That's what I go through every day with him. That's what I go through every day with my son. Oh boy. I'm still here. Just had to go get something. So I don't know who's here. I'm going to text Jim, let Jim know I'm on. I saw that. Hey, Fritz, how are you? I saw that Jesse Roth is coming on also later on today. That's cool. Glad to see she's coming on. I like all the shows. I watch all the shows. So Jesse had a good show yesterday too. Hey, Christine, how are you? Good to see you. Glad you're here. Just seeing who's coming in the chat, seeing if we're going to get more people. But I did speak up. I think I mentioned Johnny got his teeth pulled today. So he has something on his YouTube wall showing he has all his cotton in his mouth. So just want to let everyone know that. Hopefully Johnny heals well, and hopefully he'll get his teeth in. He'll get straightened out and feel better. I let Jim know I'm live. Everyone, just to let you know, maybe Jim will come up, fill us in on some information. He likes to pop up and say hello to everyone. And hopefully more people will come in the chat. We have Jan here, Jan Fritz. And we have Rainbow Melon here. We have Christine. We have people in the bushes. That's good. The more the merrier. I have nothing bad to say about anybody. Maybe Texas Granny will stop by. Maybe Barbara Buffalo. There's more people coming in, so I'm not gonna just take off, and I don't want to do that. Yeah, we got the Olympics coming soon, the Super Bowl. I saw something that was put up. A lot of Super Bowl things are going on. Hey, Katie, how are you? Everybody's getting into the Super Bowl. They're going to have Super Bowl shows on YouTube. So I see that they're going to have some raffles on the Super Bowl, which is cool. Oh, you're working on Johnny and PZ's new XNN shirts? That's cool. Yeah, I'm staying warm where I am. Just got to stay inside. That's it. You got to stay in the house. I'm seeing if Jim wrote me back. I don't even know if he's around. He could be out. How you doing? How's it going? The teams suck. Not into the Super Bowl. Just putting up some of the chats, seeing what everyone's up to, letting everyone see the chat up on the screen. Yeah, I don't have much contact with everyone. So the only time I don't know if everyone gets an alert when I go on. Not sure. Do you guys get an alert when I'm on, or you just see that I'm on and you come on. You got to get an alert because you subscribe to me. Oh, okay. Because I don't know how it works. I don't know if everyone gets alerts. I mean, I see folks coming in, which is good. So, the other thing is I don't think Jim has the Robotex working yet. I don't think Jim has Robotex working yet. I haven't heard. I don't even know what's going on tonight. If there's anything going on, if there's crab legs or XNN on tonight, or are they going to be doing XNN and crab legs always on Fridays now? Because I get confused. Next time Sharks set up the live stream and let the chat swell. I don't know how that works. I'm definitely on live stream now, right, Rainbow? Oh yeah, I do that, but I don't like doing it because I don't have time to set that up. I got you. Now I understand, Rainbow. Oh, that's good. Rainbow caught me by mistake. Well, so far Texas Granny's not here. Barbara Buffalo's not here yet. They usually pop in though later on when I'm on. So what does everyone think of the abduction of this lady? Do you think she's going to be found? Oh, the Olympics started yesterday. I'm still here. Well, we definitely won't be seeing Johnny in the chat if he's there. Hello, Johnny. You might be sleeping right now. If not, hello. I know that you got your surgery, so hopefully you're feeling better. That's tough surgery, I'm sure, that you went through. But I hope you're there and listening. If not, that's okay. Uh, PZ, how you doing? If you're out there, hello. Uh, Everyone. I'm saying hello to everyone that I know. How people can be so evil is overwhelming. That's the truth. I think the son-in-law definitely had something to do with it. I hope she's found safe, but I doubt it. Yeah, that's what Katie says. Jan. Yeah, I haven't heard much about the son-in-law. So I find that odd myself. I do find that odd because we haven't heard about the son-in-law. Uh, if he's involved or nothing, they haven't brought that up. So I do find that odd. But it's making the news, man. I mean, it's even got the attention of the president. This kidnapping. So uh, I find that odd that that it's even got the attention of the president too. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Jan. That's true. It is baffling. Yeah, and the sheriff says they have nobody of interest, and I find that odd too. And they did catch one of the people that were asking for money. They were in Canada or they were in California. Yeah. Hopefully she's okay because the heart's nothing to mess with, and she does have a pacemaker, and she does need doctor's care. She does need medications, and we don't even know what her well being's like now. Nobody knows how she's doing now. So I'm waiting, waiting, and waiting. So just to let everyone know, the the $17 an hour is what I'm looking to make part time, and nothing more than that. I just want to work part time, get out of the house. I'm sick and tired of sitting in the house every day, and I got to make do something. I got to get out. I can't just sit here in my house all the time. And my son, I'm afraid to leave my son alone. That's the thing in the house. He he's sleeping now, he went to bed because I told him he had therapy, so my son went to bed. Crazy shit. Yes, I'm going back to school next month, Christine. But I got wet feet about it because I have so much going on that I might not go back. I might not go back because there's too much going on here in my house. I might have to pull out of school because of all the stuff that's going on here, and taking care of the house, taking care of my son, wanting to go back to work. I'm not really upset about it if I leave school. I mean, I've been in college. I graduated high school. I've been involved in law enforcement, but I really wanted to do this. But you don't know until you try, you know, but I'm willing to give it a shot to go back, but if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. So I'm not really upset about it. I'm just upset about the situation, about what goes on around it, because you know things aren't getting easier. Where even though my wife is working, you still need two people working in the house, and sometimes you have no choice but to do it. Yeah, I would have a bill, but it wouldn't be expensive, but I would have to pay over time. And that's why I'm thinking about it, that maybe it might be best that I may drop out of school. Hi Jesse, how are you? Good to see you. Glad you're here. So I don't know. That's in the making. There's a possibility I might. There's a possibility I might not. Nobody knows until that day comes. I've been working on other things. I had to work on something today with the FEC, Federal Election Commission, because I did put my name in uh, 1 year to run, and I had to fill out a form to let them know I'm no longer running, and I didn't hit the threshold of $5,000, and that's how that works with the FEC. So I had to contact them today to fix that, and that's all right too. That's a complicated thing to talk about. The FEC, Federal Elections Commission. Uh, that's what it is. So I had to fix that today. They emailed me, so I had to call them, and then I had to fill out a form online and then submit that. So yeah, that's true, Jan. That's true. That's why I'm tossing it up whether I should leave or not. I really I really do want to stay, but if worst comes to worst and it comes to getting what I need to do and doing what I need to do to take care of my son and make money, that's what I'm going to have to do, because some people do that. They have no choice but to leave school and go work. And that happens to a lot of students that are in school, that they end up leaving, and they have to work. And that's what it's coming down to, because uh, I think I have to work, man. I think I'm going to have to. But if I don't get a job, I'm going to stick with school. That's what I'm really thinking. Because jobs are hard to come by out there too. Even if you have a diploma and you have other things under your belt, they don't. I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to get a job for people, but it depends. If you present yourself well and you show that you want to work, you know, everything turns out better for in the end. Glad to see everyone's here. Hello in the bushes. Glad you're here too. Nothing bad to say about anybody. Hi, Tingle Booze. How are you? Good to see you here. Just checking to see if Jim contacted me. See if you read my email, my text. I'll give him a call. That's all. If he's here. If not, that's okay. Hey, man, you on the road?
Hey, what's going on? Yeah, I'm actually traveling right now, and I don't have the robo-texting until I won't have robo-texting till tomorrow afternoon, like around 4 or 5.
That's cool.
So, yeah, what's going on?
How are you? Yeah, I'm live. That's all.
You're live? Okay. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I won't have any of that, but yeah, I'm traveling right now.
Cool.
Any news?
No news, nothing good. Just probably gonna get a job, and school's around the corner. That's what I'm talking about. Talking about Johnny, he got his teeth pulled out.
Yeah, he got his teeth pulled out. How's Jesse Roth? Is she around?
Jessie Ross here. She's on my panel. Well, not.
She doesn't hear me.
She's actually in the chat panel.
Oh,
Hold
okay.
on.
Give me a few. I'm gonna come up. I'm in about 20 minutes. I'm gonna be stopped. I'll come up on panel.
Okay. Thanks. Bye. Jim's going to be up on panel in about 20 minutes. So if everyone can wait, he has some news he'd like to share with everyone. Yes, Johnny did get his teeth pulled out today. If you're late in the panel, uh, or late in the chat panel, should I say? I got to get used to saying what I mean by panel. But yeah, Johnny got his teeth pulled, and now he's got to go through the time of living without teeth in his mouth, and that's a tough time to live. No teeth, because sometimes it takes two months, 2 months for them to make your dentures uh, for you. I think the quickest you can get them in is a month. I don't know. I don't know how it works, but I think that's how it works. I wish I could post it. No mods here. Yeah, I don't have many. I had mods. I have mods, but they're not here today. And mods post a link. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, so Jim's gonna come up in 20 minutes. He's gonna pull over, he's on the road. He wanted to know if I had any news, and that was the news I was sharing. And of course, sharing the news about Johnny, sharing the news about the lady that's been abducted, and just be patient with me. Uh, I don't know when we'll see Johnny. He's got some healing to do. I'm sure he's got stitches in his mouth. The picture I saw that he has posted on YouTube is he's got like he has like gauze in his mouth and there's blood on it. So he definitely he must have just woke up from surgery because he still had the tubes in his nose. He still had the tubes in his nose uh, when he took the photograph. So that's what I know. So I don't know where Jim is. Jim's out on the road. Rainbow Melon says she'll be back. Yes, hit the like button, guys. Please hit the like button. I appreciate it. I definitely appreciate it. Yeah, we're supposed to have a teacher come to our house, but I don't know how that's going to turn out because our son is mean. I don't know about that. Oh, you're watching Johnny? Yeah, it's in his it's in his yes, I think it's a short. It's no video. It's a short of he has gauze in his mouth, man. I can't get my son out of his room. He's attached to a computer, and that's all he does. Computer, computer. And he's nasty with me and my wife. We just lost $100 today on therapy because he wouldn't go. I'm talking about that's insurance money that you lose that money. We the insurance. And he just walked away from her, shut the door in my face, and went to bed. That's what he did. Yeah. He's 17 years old. 17. And he's going to be 18 in August. So he's not far from it, you know. We could he's just out of control. We really want the best for him, but if he doesn't accept it, then you can't do anything about it. You know, he needs to accept that we're looking out for his best interest. That's true too, Rainbow Melon. He needs a part-time job. If he could do it, would he be able to do it? That's the question. Would he be able to get out there and get a job? Yeah, he has ADHD, but I think there's more than he has anger issues. He has anger issues. Yeah, he does need an intervention. Yeah, yeah, that's true, Fritz. Yeah, we've replaced walls, ceilings, lights, because he broke them all. That's more than a tantrum, though. He's put his, you know, I've had to have walls replaced. I've had to replace lights that he tore down from the ceiling. Uh, he's broken things a lot. He's broken things a lot. I had to replace the whole ceiling in his room. A couple of years ago, he punched holes in the ceiling, and all over the place. And there was nothing wrong with his room. Now he did it again, and my wife's gonna fix it. And I can't do it anymore. I can't do that stuff anymore. I'm done with doing it. I'm not gonna replace ceiling lights. I I can't. I can't do it anymore. I'm getting too old for it. You know, I got to think of my wife and me too. We're getting old. My wife is 62. Just to let everyone know. I'm 55 years old. Yeah. We did send him to a medical center one time. I don't know if that would work. But he was he was on with the therapist 2 weeks ago, and he said it was good. So I would have thought today would have been good with the therapist, but oh well, that's that. You know, it didn't work out. He went to bed, shut the door, and I had to live my day and let my day move on. and take care of things that I had to take care of. So that's what I did. I don't know what he does on his computer. He won't let us know. I'm sure he's communicating with people, and I think he's being influenced by people. I think I told my wife, this is what I told my wife today, Jesse, is I don't want you giving him any more money for his memberships for his games. I mean, why? What are you going to do? Keep giving him money for the memberships? Yeah, isn't that the truth? That's what I would have told him too. Can't take a nap. Yeah, I wish I could turn the Wi-Fi off. We need it. Yeah, that's true. How you doing? Make him do chores for his memberships. Easier said than done with him. Take that computer away. Oh my God, things would be broke. The computer probably be broke. I think he sleeps just to so he can ignore what he has to do. He sleeps just to ignore us and get out of it. That's what kids do. They sleep to get out of it. I was lucky. My son wasn't tied to technology. He wanted to go out and do things. That's what that's what kids did back when I was young. We went out and we played football, baseball, we did basketball, we did things, we hung out with friends. Nowadays, those days are over. They're all attached to electronic devices, and that's it. That's their whole thing. Electronics, computers, gaming. Yes, he does have a phone, Rainbow. He has his own phone, and but he barely uses the phone. He's always on his computer. I don't know what he does with his phone. He writes nasty messages to my wife on it. That's what he does. He texts. I know he texts people. He texts my wife. That's what he does. Nasty clown pictures of her being a clown. Yeah, that's true. He might be scared to grow up. My son is 17 years old, but he has issues, anger issues, and he has ADHD. And we have him on therapy. We've gotten him school. We're supposed to have a teacher come to the house. We do have that set up, but now is he going to come down from his cave and sit down with his teacher and just do his schoolwork, or is he going to deny that he has to come down? Yep, that's true, Jan. I've told him that if he doesn't stop, I'm calling the police. Yeah, he doesn't respect his mother at all. He hurts her feelings every day. My wife works hard. She goes into the city every day. Hey, Mr. Exposed, how you doing? My wife goes into Manhattan every day in this weather and works hard every day. And she doesn't ask for a damn thing. Nothing but to be loved. That's it. And I'm telling you that's not fair. That's not fair to her, because she's has shown nothing but love and to him, and she's given all to him, and that's not fair. When you have a loving mother, a son should not treat their mother that way. A son that has a loving mother should never be treated that way from a son. I'm telling you that. And that's what really upsets me about him. She gets better love from a dog than she does from our own son. Now, that is the truth. That is the truth. That's not fair to her. But it makes sense. Glad to see that Mr. X is here. He's lightening the load. He's got a lot of cool things to say. Well, I'm putting my foot down, Rainbow Melon. I am. Today drew the line for me with what he said to me. And I told my wife that he's no longer to get memberships for his games. I did tell her that, and we're going to discuss that on what we need to do to put a stop to that, since he doesn't want to comply, with anything we're asking of him. 17, Mr. X. Who the hell knows what's going to happen to him? If he doesn't grow up, he's going to end up in the streets. It's true. Gaming is a culprit. Gaming is bad. I know, Mr. X, you were doing different things than he was. It's sad. When I was in high school and all that, I was hanging out with my friends on weekends, summer times. We were doing all those things. We were going out, hanging out. We were hanging out and actually looking for girls, dates, went to the mall, took care of ourselves, and did work a part-time job. I had a part-time job at 15. I got my working papers at 15 and I was able to get a job. And I worked at a restaurant just bussing tables, which you could do at that age, as long as you're not doing anything with cooking or anything. And I did that for a while. Then I got involved with other things, went to school, had a great time growing up. Worked at a gas station. So, Mr. X, Jim says he's going to be coming up. So I just want to let you know that. I don't know if you spoke to him, Mr. X. He is autistic, Jan. He is autistic. He's 1. He's got functioning autism. Let me tell you something, man. He jumps around all day long. He doesn't stop. We tried medications. He denies taking his medications. So, yeah, I agree. How you doing? Computers online is demonic. There's an obsession component to this, Shark Hitter. No crap about that. There's definitely, for sure, a lot of people, a lot of things. And the problem is you can't see what's going on. That's the problem. You don't know what he's doing, who he's communicating with, what he's being told, what he's thinking when he's up there talking to himself. I'm telling you that. Yeah, and it's true. Some of the meds, it's true, Tingle Boo. Some of the meds, we don't know how it makes you feel. But he doesn't take it long enough to even know. Yeah, he has a phone, iPhone, or he has a phone, Samsung phone. That's right. He's got Samsung, got Verizon. But we always have to have communication with him. That's why we won't take his phone away. You know, suppose something did happen to him, we needed to communicate with him. You know, that's one thing. And we have the tracking device on the phone. So just in case he ends up leaving, we can track him. No, he's not paying the bill. We are. That's true, Jesse. That's what my wife said today. We should make him go out and get a job and pay for his own phone bill. That's what my wife said. My wife said that he should get a job and go out and pay for his own bills. I told him that too. Actually, I told him if he doesn't like it, then get yourself your own job and take care of yourself. If you don't like what we do, I did tell him that last week, and he didn't like it. He walked away. He didn't like what I said. Yeah, he'll be asking us for the money. He's got a nice phone though. All he has to do is switch plans. He just got it. He could get a Mint Mobile plan cheap. Let him get a Mint Mobile plan, a cheap Mint Mobile plan, and get a job and pay for it himself. That's what he should do. I mean, really, think about it. I mean, he really made me upset today, and I'm at my wits' end with the way he treats my wife and me. But that's one thing that went on today, and it's a big subject, especially dealing with kids with issues like that what he has with the autism and the ADHD, and not taking his medication, refusing to go to a therapist. You know, it's a bad situation, and then paying for it. Then ended up paying for therapy that he didn't attend. Uh, that is no good either. You know, because then he's not even getting the help he needs. So how can you get the help he needs if you walk away? You know, there's no helping somebody that walks away. You can't help somebody that walks away. He says, here's what he said, it's not going to work out. That's what he told me. When the therapist was on, he said, it's not going to work out. And in his room, he went and shut the door. Get him a kiddie phone. That's funny shit. And the rest of the day, I've been hanging out with my dog. Hanging out with my dogs. That's what I've been doing. And then passing the time away, going through emails. We had him in BOCES, which is special education. There's Texas Granny. Hello. See, a lot of people did a lot of things. And here, I'm going to let Mr. X up. Mr. X wants the link. So I dropped the link. Here's Mr. X. Hey,
I
man.
posted about your show on my community tab. I said Mr. X is going to go up on Shark Hitters show and offer parenting advice, even though I'm not a parent.
Yeah.
I could see that this, is very hurtful to you just by your voice. I'm sure you want what's best for your son.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, but real quick, I just a side note before I get into the parenting advice, because I know everything, of course. But
Yeah.
I noticed you got right now you're around 50 people, and I'm sure that's going to go up when Jim gets here. And you had about 10 participants in your chat, excluding you. Okay.
Yeah.
Angel Gotti last night had 200, and I got a screen grab of this, 252 people, quote unquote, 252 people, and 3 participants in her chat. I got a screen grab of it. Now, how is it that you could have 50 and have 9 participants and you can see the chat moving, and she can have 252 and have 3?
I don't know.
And you can't say, well, Jim's here because I want to keep in the bushes because Jim Terry's here. Jim hasn't been there in a couple shows. So, I mean, has my point been proven, or has my point been proven?
Yeah.
Anyway, so this is what I'm thinking. And I'm listening to what you're saying, but I'm looking at it as a different way. And I don't know if people look at it. I'm not a parent. I've never wanted to be a parent. Sometimes people want to be parents or they become parents by circumstances, whatever. I feel like I'm probably going to get shit for this. Like, I'm 47, but it's like, some people get stuck in a certain age. Like if I'm 17, 18, 19, 20, but I've just lived 30 more years. Yeah, I still do the bad stuff that I do, but the computer has just 30 years more experience, but it can only do so much.
That's right.
So that's kind of what I am. So when I look at it and I hear this kind of stuff, I never, even though I'm 47 and technically I could be a grandparent, which sounds crazy to me, but I can't even fathom looking at it as a parent because I've never been one and I've never wanted to be one. I've always been a son and a grandson, even at age 47. So I'm like in a completely, the Texas Granny or you or, Barbara Buffalo and this and that. Like, I feel like I would be in your son's position, Yeah. It's just that I'm older. And so I'm thinking about it and I hear, well, there's computers now. There's this, there's that. Well, there were computers when I was around. I mean, I'm talking about like when I was his age. I remember people going on AOL 3.0 and, going into message boards and, you say, 18 male pitcher. And then you see some other girls and there would be girls would be like 18 female pitcher. Then you exchange and you talk to them. And, that was like the beginning of meeting people up on the internet. Then you're like, oh, where are you at? Oh, I'm in Clearwater. Okay, you're in Largo. At that point, I had a car too. And I wasn't always meeting, girls or women online. A lot more times than not was in person. Like,
right. But you
60,
didn't
70%.
keep yourself at home, man. You went out.
I went out. Well, here's the other thing. I played basketball.
Right.
I was even in the weight room at that point. I was active in school. Cause I remember this when you take a trip from middle school to high school. And like as an 8th grader, I vividly remember being on the bus. I never took a bus, but they bus you to go just walk around the high school you're going to go to. And I remember there had some juniors and seniors on the bus talking to the 8th graders, and they said this. And dude, I vividly remember this. The guy had his arms on both of kind of and was looking back to the back of the bus. And I'm sitting in the middle of the bus or whatever. And he goes, hey, whatever you do, be involved as much as you can in high school, clubs and sports and whatever. And it's going to go by like that. It's going to go by like that. Next thing, the first year is going to seem like it's forever. And next thing you know, you're going to be a senior. And then you're going to say, oh, I wish I did all that. So I was involved in a lot of stuff.
Right.
And girls who would never, the hottest girls in high school who would never talk to me if I was just a Joe Blow student would be going nuts when I would shoot a 3-pointer or block somebody. And then I would have the opportunity to talk to them. I'm not saying I got to date them, but like it kind of gave me the in. It's like the ugly guy in Hollywood who's talking to the hottest chick in Hollywood because he's an actor too.
Right.
Because I was in that loop where if you just walk up to her on the street, there's no way. So by being involved in that kind of stuff, and I had a lot of friends that weren't. I could think of 2 guys that I was really close with. They're dead now. That were never involved in anything, and they just wanted to go and smoke their weed and try to go to the East Coast of Florida and surf. And I'm not saying that's the reason they're dead. I'm just saying that's just how that stuff was. So I was, and the other thing about sports and activities is it taught you how to work with other people and never give up. Like, dude, I was in when I talk about the gym all the time, but when I was in the gym last night and I saw all those younger people in the class giving up, I just thought, like, I'm not going to be the one who gives up. I'll be the last one who gives up. I don't care if I'm the oldest one in here. I'm going to continue. And I was beating them, all of them, just by the mindset. Now, I don't know if that's because of my parents, the time frame, like Michael Jordan, just do it, the 90s attitude, Gen X. I don't know if it's any of that, but I can't imagine that it's that much different now. But the situation that always happens is I say all this stuff, and then the but is autism, ADHD, which I wonder if this, and I'm saying this, it's not as a joke. Like, Jim was not a wild child, but certainly, he wasn't into video games or anything. But you could see the attitude. Would somebody now say that Jim has something when back then they wouldn't?
Right.
It just seems like bad kids like that, at least my age or even older than me. And I'm not saying your son's bad because I don't know him and I'm not there, but just kids who had problems, frankly, just got the shit kicked out of them by their parents. I was terrified of disappointing my parents. I don't know where that came from, but I was, and my grandparents.
Yeah.
Terrified of disappointing them. So, I mean, and I don't know. I'm just speaking on like, if I can go through my experience, maybe that'll help you because I'm not there with you and I don't know. But, I think the biggest thing is, at least for me, is finding something that you're really into.
Yeah.
Now, I know what happens with the kids of the video games. I want to get into making video games. That's why they say they play them. And then they never get into making them because the engineering of making video games is extremely difficult.
That's what we tell them.
It's extreme. There's a college right up the road, right next to that Ralph's that I always show. It's called Otis. And all those kids are like super foreign wizard Asian kids that, and they're not the smoking weed. Like their parents got money too.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. I don't know if the generations are different. I mean, I'm assuming they probably are. I mean, there's several generations since I've been 17.
Yeah.
But I think the bottom line is finding something you're really into.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking at it again. I wouldn't want my parents giving me medication.
Yeah.
I wouldn't fucking take it either. Now, I don't know the severity of it and this and that, but I tell you this, dude, I remember when I first, like, my vertigo stuff was at the worst, they tried to give me medication. I'm like, well, I'm not depressed. I'm not anxious. I'm having problems driving a fucking car. There's got to be something else. And there was. I was right. So I never took any of that shit. I remember one person said I had to go to a psychologist. I said, let me go to a psychologist because I'm getting a vertigo sensation when I'm driving a car. How the fuck is that going to help? So I just changed the way I did things. I stopped driving on freeways as much. Had friends drive for me. I drove a little bit and got better and better and better. It's like I had to start over driving. And granted, this is like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Then I got to the point where, like, I have 3 cars.
Yeah.
I don't think it's those video games because those video games have been around a long, long time.
I don't think he's playing on video games. I think it's something else.
So, I mean, talking to chicks online, talking to potentially dudes online. I mean, what could it be?
Some influencers, but let me tell you something. Would you jump up and down in your room back and forth for 8 hours? Jump.
Yeah, I do. I do it 5 times a week on Jim Terry TV. So yeah, kind of, but
not that kind of way.
Jump up and down as in how?
like jumping back and forth,
I don't. It
he's like stir crazy.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I don't know. Sometimes lifting weights. Sometimes I just always think of athletic things that I was
Yeah,
always
it could be
running.
anxiety.
Yeah, it's like a puppy dog that needs to be taken out and run around so they're exhausted at night.
Yeah,
You know, so and granted, I mean, when you're 17, you're pretty much are a puppy, at least how I look at it now.
yeah,
So I mean, I don't know. I just I think that here's what exists more now than I think, because you're only like what, maybe 10 years older than me.
yeah. I'm 55.
Okay, so you're less than 10. You're 8 years older than me. So I mean, we wouldn't have been in high school at the same time, but you and I think I have more in common with people who are like 55, 60 than I do people who are like 25 or 30.
Yeah,
So I mean, so I couldn't even imagine what it'd be like 17, but I think that our age, you just worked your ass off, you got your stuff done. You people maybe had families a little bit earlier. Certainly our parents even maybe earlier than that. But there's this thing now that's I've never even heard, FOMO, or fear of missing out.
yeah,
And I think that there's a thing that exists where it started maybe in the 90s or maybe even in the 80s. I don't know. Definitely didn't exist in the 70s that I could tell, where the influencers and the people that are on the internet and, they like, you want to be kind of famous or involved in a group to be cool. It'd be like in high school, there would be a cool group, there'd be a loser group, there'd be a group of
Yeah.
black kids, there'd be,
I
so you
remember
wanted
those
to be an
days.
athlete group, but now that exists in a much bigger world, in online. The Mr. Beast, this influencer and that influencer. And here I am, a guy in my 40s, jumping around and acting goofy in a mask, and I'm kind of doing the same thing.
Yeah,
But like, I own the whole thing and I earn money off of it. I'm not trying to get into it,
that's true.
and I'm not doing it as a monkey to try to, and I'm not saying your son is. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not there. I'm just like, I think that wanting to be loved or accepted has never ever gone away. It's just a different medium. And here's the thing. Here, like I feel the same way maybe as your son does. If like the way to be loved and accepted, if I'm not the best looking guy, is if I'm not the most athletic guy, is to go on the basketball court, because I love playing basketball anyways, and just outwork everybody and outplay everybody. If I can out physically just, when it gets rough, I don't give up. And that's what something Fumble Nuts doesn't know about me, is when it gets rough and and you want to give up, that's where I keep going.
Right.
So with that being said, I wonder if that's similar in some ways. Then you kind of mix into some of the, emotional problems with the potential autism or ADHD, where that if that existed when it was my age, nobody talked about it, and then how do you fight through it? So everything you're saying, everything you're talking about is the exact, and I want to say it just to say it, but I mean, is the exact reason why I never wanted to have kids. It's like why I've gone out of my way to not have kids. But you have your son, you love your son. People have their kids. Some people wanted their kids. I respect that. I'm not, but like what you're talking about is like, I'm thinking about myself, like, thank God I'm not part of that. But I wish there's some way I could help. I wish there's something I could do. And the only thing I could do would be put my shoes on, like the 17-year-old, 18-year-old Mr. X shoes, and say, what would I do if I was an 18-year-old now?
Yeah.
And it seems like it would be because of this, because this doesn't seem to be mutually exclusive with your son. This seems to be an epidemic with a lot of kids these days.
That's
if
what
I were to go in my attitude, like you make Mr. X 18 right now, and I sometimes because there's a couple high schools around where I'm at, and when I go for a walk for a day, their schools are letting out, and I think to myself, if I was in this high school right now, I would fucking take over.
Yeah.
It would take me I took over in 1 month in 97, what would I do in 2026?
Right.
So, I mean, I think part of it is attitude and finding what you like, you know, and the other thing is giving them the room to fuck up. I mean, you mentioned earlier about having a cell phone and so you can continuously what if you just let them get into some trouble?
Yeah.
I mean, it could potentially cost you more money in the end if he breaks his arm or something crazy happens, but what happens if he has to go ahead and learn the hard way? Hey, listen, we're not going to always keep in touch with you. We're not going to hold your hand. You get in trouble out there. You get in trouble out there. Don't make any stupid decisions.
Yeah. That's what we tell them.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, does any of this make sense?
Oh yeah, that's what we're going through with him, and he knows everything.
Well, I think every 17-year-old knows everything.
That's right. He knows the best.
Well, then if he knows the best, let him go figure it out.
That's what I told my wife. I said, let him go figure it out then. That's what I told him. Go figure it out.
There's so much stuff now on, the internet and Reddits and, because I think I'm pretty much close enough to being old enough where I can see stuff on the internet and be like, that's bullshit. What Trump's saying here is bullshit. That's not true. Okay, what this Democrat's saying, that's bullshit. That's not true. Like, it doesn't matter which side. Like, I can pretty much make up my mind. Sometimes I can get tricked.
Yeah.
But if you're 17, and most 17s don't have the wherewithal to, I mean, I probably didn't.
Right.
I don't know. I guess it's just a different world. I mean, I grew up in a different area, a different time frame, but I think the bottom line is finding something you're really into.
Right.
And what is that for him? Do you know?
No, we don't know.
So let's just, so he's not interested in playing any sports. I mean, it's kind of, if you're not playing sports from a young age, you're not going to make the high school team. You just don't pick up a basketball and make varsity.
Can't get him out the door to do anything.
He doesn't want to leave.
Yeah, he wants to stay in his room.
And then what happens to him if you say, I'm 55. What happens in 15 years from now if I'm 70 and you're not here? What are you going to do at age 25 or 30? Because next thing you know, you wake up, you're 25 or 30 years old. That's not that far around the corner when you're 17. It seems like it's far.
Yep.
But it seems like every year as I get older, the year goes by faster too. Like when you're young, you're like, oh my God, only 5 more months till Halloween. And then now I just wake up and I'm like, oh, it's October. It's my birthday. Oh, Halloween's tomorrow. That's what it feels like now.
Yeah. Isn't that the truth?
Do you guys have dinner together? Do you sit down and eat? That's what's their names,
Well, me and my wife sit down. He doesn't sit with us. He leaves us.
Okay.
He doesn't sit with us, and he leaves us and goes up to his room and eats.
Okay, that makes sense. And Tingle Booze, no, my mom tried to cook. She was never really a good cook. She probably wouldn't like to hear this. But I grew up on eating McDonald's and eating bad foods and stuff like that. And one of the things that I never really started learning until I was older, like 40 plus, was nutrition. I wish to fuck. Why was there not a fucking nutrition class for athletes, let alone just anybody? Hey, if you eat this, this is what's going to happen with your body. If you do this, this is like nothing. I knew nothing about that. So the fact that I was able to get through playing college basketball, eating Subway sandwiches at McDonald's, which I know for a fact some of those guys on the basketball team that were 26, 27, we're fucking on anabolic steroids, and I'm like 18, 19, and like doing everything humanly possible to keep up with them. I remember them telling me, Tingle Booze, you're at the bottom of the totem pole. Some of these seniors, if your goal is to beat them, because if you could beat them, then I'm going to point to you and say, how is this guy able to beat you? He's I was the second smallest on my college basketball team, and definitely the lightest and the youngest. So if the smallest guy, and I'm 6'1", probably 180 at that point. If this guy could beat you, you have no excuse as a senior. That was part of my role on that team. And I would always beat a few of them.
Yeah.
You know, so that was always my mantra of going forward after that, was trying to beat the people who are better than me. But I guess if you don't get out of the house, like, I mean, like, I don't even know how you could do that. I mean, I don't know if it's food. Somebody mentioned nutrition and, you know, what kind of food. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it could be.
What happens in a couple years from now? Is he just going to stay there at age? I mean, is he going to be like Watcher crazy and just stay there till he's in his 40s? You know,
I have no clue with him. He's got to grow up, and he's got to realize somehow. I don't know how to break it to him which road he has to take. And will he ever understand that he has to take that road that takes him on the right path?
well, and you know what I'm thinking about as you say that? I'm thinking about Janelle. Here she was, she's barely working. You know, she had some health issue, you know. So there's always some reason, excuse in a story. And if her mom dies, so she loses that, her stepdad's there, and he's like, you know what? I'm putting you in a hotel for 1 month. And we heard her December 2024 about how she was going to get a job, and she did nothing.
Yeah.
She did absolutely nothing for 14 months, except for, you know, now that's a pretty extreme circumstance, but like, do you want that to be you at age 40? Because then you're going to really feel like you're missing out if you're 40.
Yeah.
And all your friends have something, and you're like, oh shit, you know. Like some of those people we were seeing with Janelle, I'm glad that we see that, like that one guy. They're like the guy who did the naked jumping jacks.
Yeah.
Guy served in the military, did all kinds of stuff. Who knows how he was fucked up by drugs or anything else. But then he gets to a point where he's in a studio apartment cleaning up fucking parking lots.
Yeah.
And has no money. Just bad.
Yeah, that's true.
Or fingernails. I mean, I think about all these things. Like when I walk into a room, like I want to look healthy. I want my teeth to look good. I want my hair to look as good as it can reasonably. I mean, I'm not expecting to have a hair of a 20-year-old, but just everything. You go into a job interview, it's the same thing.
Right.
You know, and I think about that with Watcher Crazy. Like Watcher Crazy can sound pleasant. Like she's a nice enough lady, but she's just a wreck of a woman. Right. Obese, horrible teeth. She could have got that eye fixed. Terrible hair, terrible skin, just a destroyed personality. She's probably great at a first interview.
Right.
But you have her at a job for maybe a month or two, and I don't know what her work ethic's like. It's got to be hell. So I think about all these things. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of that helps you with, you know, the ideas of your son, but I just think about it like the biggest thing is trying to find something that they're really into.
Yeah. Well, Texas Granny says, do you go sit in his room and chat with him? Maybe try to work it out together. I have tried, but nothing seems to work out with him.
Remember that movie Friday?
Friday?
Yeah, with Ice Cube.
No. Never.
The movie's real famous. Ice Cube, it's, you know, all black people in it, yada yada.
Yeah.
And the guy who's Ice Cube's father comes in here and he's like, you know, two things are going to happen if you're going to live in this house. And Ice Cube at this point is like 20, supposed to be like 20 years old. He's like, you're going to have a job or you're going to go to school.
Right.
And if you're not going to school, and I'm talking about college and you don't have a job, then the rent is either due on the first of the month or you're out of here.
Right.
And see that part of it, it's easy for me to say because, I didn't change the shitty diapers. I wasn't around for the 17 years, the Christmases, and you don't want to see that happen to your own kid that you care about. I can get that.
Yeah.
So the disconnect is easier for me. It's not my kid, but still, I mean,
Hey, Georgie.
like I was not a big fan of college at all. I did not like it. I thought it was holding me back. I thought I should have been in LA at 18, 19 years old.
Right.
I honestly felt that, but I felt like I would be disappointing my parents if I didn't not only graduate, but graduate at a higher level than other people, regardless of what my GPA is. Because nobody gives a shit now what that is.
Yeah.
And does he have any interest in going to college?
Nope. No interest.
Then what's he going to do for work? I mean, eventually at some point he's going to have to work.
That's what we're trying to tell him. He needs to go to school and get his diploma. I mean, that most jobs ask for diploma.
Dude, I could tell you
Wow.
this. I got another quick story about college and just when I moved out to LA, and this will go with what you're saying. I had a college degree, and the two buddies I moved out with to LA, one was a high school graduate and one was a high school dropout. And the guy who was a high school dropout he would lie about graduating, but eventually, like 2 or 3 months into the job, they would figure it out, and he'd be like, "Well, contact the school; they'll tell you." And they're like, "No, you got to give it to us, or you're gone." And he just kept running into that after 3 months because eventually they figure it out over and over. And I just told him, I said, "Dude," the guy's name was Vito. I said, "Vito, why don't you just go back and I mean, it might be embarrassing now at like age 28 or whatever. Just go back and get your GED."
Yeah.
No, I'm good. There's people like Jim Carrey who went as far as they did and they didn't need. I said, but Jim Carrey's talented.
Yeah.
You're not. You're not as talented as that guy.
Yep.
And that guy had to work. So even if you have all those things, and by the way, I was working there like, well, look, we were working the same job.
Yeah.
And you got a college degree and I don't. I said, but they kept me and I earned more per hour.
Right.
So, just because you have the college degree doesn't mean that. I used to always think this: that somebody's going to turn around and in 1990 or 2002 give me a $60,000 or $70,000 job. No, that's not the fucking case. You got to apply yourself after that.
Right.
That's just showing that it's showing. Hey, if somebody trusts me to hire me, I'm not a fuck up and I can finish things. That's all that is.
That's
Like
true.
Jim doesn't have to worry on the OTT if Friday's show is going to be set up Thursday night or if Monday and Tuesday's show is going to be set up Sunday night. I've done it hundreds of times. You know what I mean? Like that's the kind of person that you want to have at a job. Does college teach you that? No, but by getting through it, it proves that you could do it.
Right.
Now, some people get their ass whipped and get turned into it. Like I think Fumble Nuts was like that, but eventually he got arrested, he got in trouble, and he had to turn his life around. So some people can get arrested and it can whip them into shape, and some people go downhill and never, like Eric Foss. Like Eric Foss is quote unquote pretending to help his mom so he has a place to live. Come on.
Yeah.
But there has to be something that they're into. And no matter what it is, at 17, 18, or even 28, you don't know it all. I mean, it's going to take time.
It's true.
I'll tell you this. My girlfriend has a job. I'm not going to say in what industry, but she works in the same industry. It's the entertainment industry, but I'm not going to tell you what section. She worked in the same section of the entertainment industry before her and I both left for New Orleans. And the job she had before she left was fucking horrible. And the job she has now pays 3 times as much and is wonderful. Is that because she's just older and has more experience? Have jobs gotten easier? I think it's just because she's gotten more experience and gotten better at it. At age 30, they wouldn't have given her that opportunity, but age 45, they would, or 40, or whatever it is.
Right.
How many times do you have to have interviews before you could have dude, one time I took a class that was 14 weeks long. I paid my money and it was nothing but how to audition or how to interview. It's all it was. It's all, I mean, people talk about acting. No, this wasn't about acting. This is how to act before you even begin to start acting.
Hey, not to cut you short, I have to use the restroom.
Go ahead. Things like, and I wonder if some of this stuff is true of job interviews. Like I used to perpetually have a shitty car. So I would think that people would say, Jim would always say, you got to show up in a nice car. Then they think, but there's a thing where like, if you show up in a Ferrari that you rebuilt, they're going to say, why do I need to hire you? I used to know a stunt guy who used to be able to rebuild cars, and he would rebuild really nice cars and show up on set like he was rich. And then the stunt coordinator's like, you got a Ferrari there. Why am I going to hire you at $750 a day? There's other people. He's like, well, and then he'd have to explain it. I used to be a master mechanic and I did this and I fixed this up for scratch. And like, oh, okay. But you show up in a shitty car, they could either think one of two things. This guy's, doesn't have really success, or I don't know. It could be a lot of things. For me, it was always being thrifty. So I would park the car down the street and walk into the audition so they couldn't see the car. And they'd be like, oh, do you need validation? I'm like, oh, no, I just parked down the street. No big deal. I figured there'd be other actors that, would need the spaces. So I just parked and walked in. It's good exercise.
Yeah.
And then they would think that I'm riding the bus. I'm like, I'm not riding the bus. Then you go in there. You're polite to everybody in the audition. If you have to go to the bathroom, I would always go. Because you get nervous sometimes in these auditions. So like my stomach would hurt. If I had to go to the bathroom, I would stop at a McDonald's before I got there. You don't want to stink up the audition room, literally. Yeah. So just being polite as possible. The audition starts as you pull up. The interview starts as you pull up.
Right.
I've seen that with pro wrestling where they had that in WWE, where they would watch, like they're up in the towers and they're going to hire somebody, and they would watch as the guy gets out of the car and walks into the office. That's part of the interview. How do you fucking know that at age 18? Not that that's part of the interview, but it's like, does he open the door for a lady?
Yeah.
Is he being polite? Is he being respectful? Or I've had the opposite way where I've met people and they were phenomenal at auditioning. I imagine Watch You're Crazy was like this. Like, I give you a perfect example. I don't mind saying it. The black girl who's in Samurai Priest.
Right.
A phenomenal auditioner. Phenomenal at auditioning. Worked as an accountant. Horrible actor. The worst actor in the entire movie by far. And people, it was a lot of work to make her look bad. Even her being where she's at there, we had to do a ton of work just to make her even look that decent. But I got tricked. Sometimes they're just really good at interviews and auditions, but at day 13 at the job, they're fucking horrible to deal with. All those things come into play. Hey, can you stay on Saturday to work? We really need you. No.
Yeah, it's getting late.
Where are you going?
Got to cook dinner. The wife's coming home.
All right. Well, I just wanted to put in my 2 cents. Hopefully I didn't talk too much, but I mean, hopefully some of that helps. But I think like I keep going back to basis is what's something he's really interested in, and I don't know. I mean, I'm not there. If I was there, I would say, maybe you've already done this. I don't know. Like, what are you into? Well, I like the internet and this and that. What do you do on there? Like, maybe I'm older than you. I'm 40 years older than you. How old were you when you had him? 35?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm 35 years older than you. I've been around the world a lot more and all this, and I'm not saying I know everything, but like, maybe I can help you. Maybe you've already said this, but like, what are you into? Even if it's something that's goofy, say, I mean, as in like this, if I went to my parents and said, listen, I really want to get into directing porn. they probably would say, "Oh, I don't know if you want your life to go that way, and that might be a tough life." But if that's what you're really into and that's what you really want to do, we're support you. And
Jesse wants to come up.
Jesse Roth?
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably will, Katie, in a little bit.
But I definitely got to go because
Okay, you got to go, dude?
Yeah, let's see what Jesse needs to say.
Yeah, maybe by 4, Rainbow Melon. Maybe earlier. Hurry up, Jesse. And the show that I'm going to do coming up here, just real quick, and I'll take off.
Okay.
I'll probably do it at 4. Is I want to do a show, and I told Jim about this. Not we're ranting and raving, doing the Jim Terry TV stuff. I want to do a show that's people who want to do copyright claims board. Like if you keep getting struck and people keep doing fair use, I want to explain to people. You know how Angel Gotti promotes it and pays to promote it. I might do that for the first time. Where like, you ever heard of copyright claims board through YouTube? I'm the guy who's actually done it. Here's what happens when you do it. Here's the person I did it to. Here's all the steps.
Yeah.
That's what if Jim wants to come up and rant and holler, we'll do some of that, but that's what I want to do the show on. And I'm going to tag Leanne in the subject line, so when people search her name, they know that show's about her. It's not behind the paywall on Jim Terry TV.
Yes.
So that's what's going to happen.
It's a good idea.
All right, Jesse, what's up?
Hey, so I just wanted to elaborate, and Mr. X, even though you don't have children, you're on track with finding something he likes to do. You want to get him involved in that. I think at this point, like what you're dealing with, Shark Hitter, is he's been able to do certain things for so long that now he's entitled. So now you want to go back and tell him no. Yep. He's gonna, and that's with any child, autism or not,
Yeah.
So I mean, I think, and this is, listen, I'm not trying to give you advice. You know your child best.
But
what I would do is, well, first of all, you want to pick your battles. And again, that's with any child, autism or not. You want to pick your battles. Now, I'm going to use this one thing just as an example. It might not be what you want to battle with, but like somebody suggested about sitting down and having dinner together. And you said he takes his plate and goes upstairs.
Yeah.
At some point, he was allowed to start doing it, and he kept being allowed to do it. If that's the battle you want to choose, what you do is you tell him, no, you're either going to eat dinner down here, or you're not going to take dinner up to your room. I'm just using that as a simple one.
Yeah.
Now, as far as like the computer and stuff, and with the phone, I get it. You have to be able to contact him. And most people don't have landlines anymore, like when we were growing up,
Yeah.
I mean, with the phone, what you could do now, is he in school or no?
He's not in school right now.
Okay. So you said he's gonna be 18 soon, right?
Let me drop down so I can set this next show up. But
yeah. I'm going to have to go soon, too. I got to go.
Take up space here. I'll see you guys in a bit.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, X.
So what I would say is, first of all, okay, I would start with the computer. Take the computer out of the bedroom. Put it in a public area like the living room, the dining room, something, somewhere where you have room where he's not secluded by himself with it.
Yeah.
And obviously it's going to take some time. Obviously it sounds like he's going to have a negative reaction to anything you tell him. So what you could do is say, look, we're going to put the computer in the living room.
Yeah.
You can use it, unless it's for homework or whatever. You can use it from, say, and again, just an example, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Okay.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're off the computer. Read a book, clean your room, do something, get a job. With the phone, again, like I said, that's a tricky one because you do have to be able to get a hold of him. I agree with you there. But they do have like those phones that you could
Well,
do
we
that
have it set up already. We have all
you
that set up already for
what's
him.
all set up. The
His
computer,
computer and stuff.
is it in his room though?
He has this. We have a computer room.
Oh, okay. It's a separate computer room.
Yeah,
So
we
it's not
have
like in his bedroom or
we don't
anything.
want we can't put things like that in our living room. I don't want to share all that information. You know.
Well, no, I just meant him if he has his own computer. Just put his
He has
address.
his own computer, but we have a computer room, so he has his separate area.
Yeah, that's a tough one. See, the problem is, well, then you're just I would say just do it. Say, look, you can use the computer from this time to this time at night. And
Yeah,
then
it's
if
good
you start,
advice.
if you start, you know, give him chores around the house. If you do your chores, maybe we'll give you an extra hour one week or something. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Stuff like that.
yeah,
You kind of need to scale back and start giving stuff back as he responds appropriately. Does that
yeah,
make sense?
yeah.
And again, this is with any kid. Yeah.
That's what any kid. That's right.
Um I mean, I totally lucked out with my son. He was actually, he wanted to go out in the yard and play so much that I wished he would have just sat in front of the TV for an hour so I could fold laundry and stuff. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, I didn't have that luxury. I was up doing my chores because I worked full time and then had to come home, and he wanted to play in the yard, and we had to get dinner done, and he would not sit still. And it just, I was up doing laundry at midnight and stuff like that because I'm talking when he was a toddler and stuff. But
Right.
you know, I would say just scale back and put limits on the computer time.
Yeah, that
um
sounds like a good plan.
Again, I know it's not going to be easy. I get it, but
No.
just a thought. And then tell him and say, look, like you were saying, your wife even told him he needs to get a job and start paying for his phone.
Yeah.
Um, Maybe get him a kitty phone until he gets a job and can pay for his regular phone back,
Right.
something like that.
Right.
Like I said, you don't want to take it away completely because you can't do that in this. There aren't even pay phones around anymore. Like, at least when we were kids, if we had to call home, we could
Yeah.
find a pay phone. Those don't even exist anymore.
No. Well, I have
But
to go, Jesse.
all right, well, it was
Thank
good
you.
chatting with you, but I just thought I'd give my 2 cents for what it's worth.
Well, I appreciate it, and
And
I'll take your advice.
I wish you luck with everything. Okay.
Thank you, Jesse.
All right, I'll see you
All right.
later.
All right.
Bye.
Talk later. See you in the next video.
Yep.
All right. Bye. Thanks everyone for coming, and check back soon, and we'll be talking.